Exercise 1, I'm going to read it out loud to you. At Funburger, the burger master can make hamburgers at a rate of 4 burgers per minute. That's the way you read this, 4 burgers per minute. In order to address the heavy volume of customers, he needs to continue at this rate for 30 minutes. If he continues to make hamburgers at this pace, how many hamburgers will the burger master make in 30 minutes? All right, first thing. Nick Mirabella, what did you underline? How many of you did that? Okay. I kind of want to discuss this here. 4 burgers per minute. It's a ratio. 4 to what? So a lot of the kids yesterday, period 5, got hung up on what that ratio is. When you see 4 burgers per minute. Beck, how many say 4 to 1? Excellent. Anytime you see per minute, per hour, per day, per year, the second part of that ratio is always going to be 1. By the way, what's my template? Amanda? Burgers. Correct. 4 burgers per minute. Okay, great. Equals. Where does 30 have to go in the second part of the TRF? Nick Ellis. How did you know it was the bottom? Excellent. Now we got to connect. It goes in evenly, and as you'll see, when you get to lesson 18, not everyone's going to go in evenly. That's the kind of twist with 18, what makes it different from what we've been doing. Gabby, times what? Times how much? 30. Times 30 is our constant. Finally, Aiden, what's our final answer? And I'm going to put that in a sentence. Yes. Hey, when you get a mad rush like at a McDonald's when 3 busloads of people come in, you got to make burgers pretty darn quickly. Okay, I'm going to skip 2. There's a reason why I'm going to skip 2, because I know you can do it. And I want to get to the one where 1 doesn't go in evenly. But I got to check my case, so I'm going to pause for a minute. Let me go back to record. I'm going to skip 2 for now, and I want you to go to the next page, and I want to do 3 with you. Number 3 with you. Same thing as per usual. Read it quietly to yourself. Underline your key VIPs. No, I realize I skipped the bottom of the second because I know you can do that one. And I'm going to exercise 3 on the top of page 3, Nick, because that's the one that's a little different from what we've been used to. All right, what do I underline here? Go. Okay, great. What else? A shorter question, that's for sure. What else, Joe? Okay, how many miles is my question? And 10 hours. All right, somebody else, what's my template? Fernando. Good. Given ratio. Hug. Little k. Great. So far, everything's nice and peachy and dandy, but you're going to see we run into something that's a little different here. Well, second part of the ratio. All right. And we're trying to find miles. What do you notice here? I think this is the first time this comes up. Not 100% sure. Something like it, maybe. I don't know. M. It does not go in evenly. you don't get a constant that is what's called an integer constant. It's a rational number, which means it's a decimal or a fraction. Let's keep it as a decimal. What should you do to figure? I know you guys figured it out, but how do you do it if you don't know it in your head? What is a strategy you can do if you don't know it in your head? Michael. What into what? Who goes outside the gazinta? 4 goes into, Michael, 4 goes into 10. Okay, let's review this real quick because we did this back in lesson 16, but it's been a while. 4 goes into 1, can't go into 1, but it can go into 10 at least how many times? Oh, 2 remainder of 2, right? No more remainders anymore. We've got to go to termination. So what do I do? Alexandra. Okay. I need to add that decimal back in again. Then what? Then what? Good girl. You remember to raise the rock. Raise the rock. Then what? You got it. And guess what? 4 goes into 20 nice and evenly. 4 times what? 5. It terminates. 2.5. Ready? I'm going to make a mistake. Tell me if you can find the mistake. Ready? How many miles? He can travel 2.5 miles. Find the filth. Thorny, what did I forget to do? I'm almost there, but I forgot to do something. My answer's not 2.5. 2.5 is my constant. It's not my answer. You're almost there, but right. I got to multiply by something. I multiplied this bottom. What do I have to multiply the top by? All right. So now we got to call upon our. Here we had to call upon our division skills with decimals, but now we have to call on our multiplication skills with decimals. I know. I think Nick Ellis, we did this together yesterday, right? All right, Nick. I know you know, but let's just go through it. 5 times 0 is. 5 times 0 is. 5 times 5 is. 2 times 0. 2 times 0. 2 times 5. Okay. 0 plus 0. 0 plus 0. Now what? Right. I got to move the decimal from here. How many spots? Careful. Only 1, because I only moved it 1 here. And my answer is not 2.5, 1,250 miles. What'd you do? Okay, what you did is you instead of using constant, you use multiplicative structure. You did it that way. You can do that. Okay? Because this here, if you do it this way, you don't have to deal with decimals at all because 4 does go into 500 evenly. It goes 125 times. Then he knows the 0 trick. If you have 125 and I multiply it by 10, all I got to do is add a 0. Either way, it'll work. Either way, it'll work. It works both ways. Okay? If you do it Luke Soresco's way and others that did it this way, you don't have to deal with decimals at all. That's fine. Now you're learning there's more than one way to do something mathematically. I want to do one more with you because I remember this drove everybody crazy yesterday. Read it. Read this, and let's just do this one together. Because this one drove everybody crazy in period 5 yesterday. This is exercise 4 challenge, which really isn't that much of a challenge if you follow the same pattern. All right, underline what first? Amanda. Okay, what else? Great. All right, now this is where it was tricky. What is your template? And I will tell you this, like Luke Soreska just showed us, there's more than one way to do something. There is more than one way to set this up. But you have to be careful because one way is easier than the other. I want to know what the template is. And I'll even give you a head start. It's words over something. Alexandra, what do you think? How many have or think words to seconds? How many think words to half seconds? That was the debate. That was the debate in period 5. I'm going to show it to you both ways. Okay? I'm not going to tell you what I think is easier. All right? But let's just set it up as words to seconds first of all. Words to seconds, we can do it exactly the way it reads in the word problem. It's 10 words to how many seconds? A half, 0.5. Okay, equals how many words in 60? Okay, let's finish it up. What do you need to do to figure this out? Gabby, what do you got to do? Okay, if you do 60 divided by 5, you get into an area that I have not taught you yet, and that is when you have division of decimals with a decimal on the outside of the gazinta. It gets a little tricky. Did you learn it in 5th grade what to do? Sometimes what you can do, though, is you can kind of think outside of the box a little bit. Suppose this was 1. Make believe that 0.5 was 1. 1 into 60 goes how many times? Okay, so that 1 second times 60 would be 60. What if I told you this is not 1, but this is a half a second? So it's half of 1. What would you get even if this was 1? You'd have to multiply by 60. If it's a half, what do you got to multiply by to get to that 60? I would be impressed if you can get this. Not 300. Close.
What? It's not 12?
Can I ask you this question? How many? I give you a pizza. Oh, I would love a pizza right now. I give you a pizza, and I cut it into 12 slices. Okay? I cut it into 12 slices. All right? That one slice is 1/8. How many slices did I say? 8 slices. 8 slices. Okay? So that one slice is 1/8 of the pizza. So I cut it 8 ways, right? There's 8 slices. What if I cut them into half slices? How many total slices would there be? If there was 8, and now I cut them into half slices, how many total? 16. So now it's the same idea here. If this was 1 slice to 60, now I'm taking that 1 and I'm splitting it in half. How many slices, or in this case seconds? 120. Okay? 120. To show it to you using the gazinta method, you're going to learn this coming up, is you have to move, there can't be decimals to the left. You have to make this a whole number. Whatever I do outside of the house, you have to do inside the house. And it becomes 5 into 600, which gets you 120. However, we're home free because the hard work's done. You got to do 10 times 120, and that tells you how many, what is it, words? How many words she can read in 60 seconds. What do you get? 1,200 words. There are other ways to do it. What'd you do? You went this way. You can do that. Sure. Still not that decimal that you got to realize too that time 0.5 goes into 10 20 times, but it'll work. Okay? But I like the thinking. You guys are thinking. How much time you got? 10? All right, so here you go. You guys are kind of on. You guys are kind of like on audition. If you genuinely like who you're working with, and then you got to prove it to us in your group work today. So group up and work on the problems that we did not do.